Hey guys, what is up and welcome to another episode of Did You Know This One featuring Amumu. I recently released a Yasuo guide, so I recommend checking that out if you haven't. But without any further ado, let us jump straight into Amumu's abilities. Did you know Amumu's passive will not apply if it is dodged by someone like Jax or blinded by someone like Teemo, but it will go through Pantheon's block or Fiora's parry. Even though Spell Shield will block the damage from Amumu's Q, the bandage, he will still fly to his target. Keep this in mind in your next game. Spell Shield will block Tantrum and Curse of the Sad Mummy, which is the ultimate. However, it will not block the Despair, which is the one where Amumu cries on the ground. You may not cast the Bandage Toss when you are rooted by something similar to a Morgana Q. As you saw in the spell bar, the Q is grayed out when I'm snared. Despair has a minimum duration of 1 second. This means that you cannot just simply toggle it on and off very quickly and not use any mana. We all know and love Tantrum because the CD can get reduced by getting hit by enemy champions or minions or even jungle creeps, but did you know that tower shots will also reduce the duration? Did you know that CC will not stop Amumu from flying over with his Q as long as he throws it prior to actually being CC'd? The only thing that can stop him is a knockup. One of the good things about the Bandage Toss is that it is able to hit stealth targets, even though it won't reveal them. Remember that the Curse of the Sad Mummy is a snare, not a stun. This means that it will not interrupt things like Nunu ulti, Katarina ulti, Fiddle Drain, Fiddle Channel ulti, or any similar channeling effects. In the Tooltip of Despair, the scaling says that it goes up by 1% per 100 AP, but it will also still increase the damage even if you have only 50 AP. It will just increase it by 0.5% instead of 1. For Tantrum, the physical damage reduction applies after taking into account the armor on Amumu. Alright guys, let us jump into some cool facts and lore about Amumu. Amumu was designed by Ezreal. He is voiced by the same person who voices Annie and Nunu, Christina Uola. The icon for Bandage Toss is actually a reference to Spider-Man. If you look at it closely, you can see his hand is the same posture as Spider-Man when he flings his web. During the famous Ionia vs Noxus match, did you know that Amumu was selected to represent Ionia? During the Mac launch video, you can see Amumu on a caution sign. Did you know that Amumu is the 3rd champion to have 7 total skins? Apparently, Amumu's dance is a reference to South Park, where the goth kids dance by shuffling side to side. His name is a pun on Amumu, probably made up by Mr. Puns of Damage himself, Freak. You might wonder how Amumu looks and is the way he is, but apparently nobody knows, not even Amumu himself. He woke up in a pyramid one day within the Shurima desert and had no idea how he got there or why, nor can he remember anything from the past other than that he misses his parents very much, whoever they were. He could not stop being sad no matter how much he tried, and the only thing he learned as he began his venture across Valorant is that he is undead, even though he does not share the evil characteristics with many of the other undead beings. Eventually, he found his way to the Institute of War, which is the home of the League. He told the summoners his story and they invited him to take part in the League judgment, from which he became successful and gave him what he wanted, a home. His goal within the League is to make friends who can hopefully help him discover his past. In his classic skin, it seems like Amumu is making images of his parents who look human, since he had no idea how they look like and he just assumes that they are human. His Emumu skin in the background, you can see posters referencing to many bands. Deathcap for Corky for Deathcap for Cutie, Cho'Gath Eat World for Jimmy Eat World, and Evanescence for Evanescence. The sad face poster is a parody of Nirvana's symbol, which is a happy face. In the Chinese equivalent of the skin, you can see a ghost of Tristana and Poppy playing the bass and drums respectively. Vancouver Amumu references to the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics. Almost Prom King Amumu shares a skin theme with, of course, Prom Queen Annie. Little Knight Amumu skin references to the Sword in the Stone legend of King Arthur, but instead you can see Amumu breaks his sword instead of pulling it out as told in the legend. In the Chinese equivalent artwork, Amumu is holding the full sword and battling what looks to be Warwick. In the background at the bottom, you can see a little girl lying unconscious who seems to potentially resemble Annie. As I mentioned in the previous episode of my Did You Know series, Annie is close friends with Amumu. Sad Robot Amumu may reference to Marvin the Paranoid Android from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Alright guys, that unfortunately does mark the end of this episode of Did You Know featuring Amumu. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to throw in a like down below and also check out the previous episodes of this series. I also want to do a quick shout out to my friend Pokito, who is starting up a LOL YouTube channel as well. The description down below does contain a link to his channel. I recommend checking it out. Also, if you want to have some sweet computer deals, he's the one you want to go to. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and I hope to see you next time. Peace.